Welcome to Making Moves, the Masterclass. I'm so excited to have you here today. Thank you for joining and thank you for taking your time. And even though this Masterclass is free, I want you to sit down and act like you have paid for it. You're still making an investment of your time, so it's important that you actually show up and you're present in this moment. I know how distracting it can be when we have our phones next to us, so I would suggest that you put your phone in another room, turn your phone upside down, and limit distractions so you can really get the most out of this Masterclass. So this Masterclass is pre-recorded because throughout, I thought it would be such a fun idea for you to sit down in your own time, watch this video whenever you can. But I'm actually going to get you to take moments and pause the video, and I'm going to ask you questions and you're going to write this all out. So I would suggest pausing right now. If you don't have a pen and a paper, go and grabbing one, removing your phone, limit distractions, and just immerse yourself into this. So making moves came from taking action, basically. How to start taking more action in your life, how to start going after what you actually want and understanding what you actually want. So I talk about this so much on my Instagram. I'm so aware of that. I don't know if you've seen all the posts or you've heard me talk about it throughout podcasts or your reasons for even being here. So first of all, I'm going to ask you to pause the video and I want you to write down, what do you want to start taking more action on in your life? Why? What brought you into this masterclass? What are your values? And what do you feel like you're struggling to actually take action on? Is it even getting to the gym? Is it eating healthy? Is it starting the business? Is it going out and finding new friends? Whatever it may be that you're wanting to do, that you feel like you're constantly thinking about, you're constantly planning, you're writing the goals, you're telling everyone about it, you're talking, but you never seem to actually take the action on it. So pause the video, write out a little list, and then jump back on. All right, so now you've got that established. That is the best part of this video. So the second part to that is I want you to actually think about, is this even what you want? First of all, this is the biggest part. A lot of the time we have these ideas that we want these big things, or we want to go after this, or we want to start a business because we want to work for ourselves because we believe that it's going to be so much fun, and you just see a lot of other people doing it and they make it look fun, so you want it too. But deep down, if you don't actually want it, if it's not your goal, then this could be the first reason that you're not actually taking action. So think about it. Think about the list that you've written. Is it what you actually want, or is it what you believe you want? Maybe you're sitting there and you're saying, I really struggle to take action on getting to the gym, but I want to start going. But maybe you actually don't want to start going to the gym, and that's why you haven't started. You think you want to because everyone else around you does. So find something that you actually want. Maybe it's starting a Pilates studio. Maybe it's just going for walks, whatever it is that you actually want, rather than what you think you want because everyone else around you is doing it, like starting a business. So many people are in the startup phase of a business or planning, or they think they want it, but because what are their reasons? Because they think they're going to have more freedom. They think they're going to have more time. Well, there's a bit of a reality check. When you're first starting a business, you do not have more freedom and you do not have more time in the startup phase. Yeah, of course that comes, but you have to realize there's so much work before that. So anyway, I'm going off track. So let's get back into it. So you've figured out what you want. You've written it down. Now you've actually questioned yourself. Is this what I actually want, or am I writing what I think I want? Because it's what other people expect from me. So I want you to think about it. Take a moment and to actually look down at your paper. And you may have come into this masterclass already knowing, I want this and I'm struggling to take action. So you've already got it. You're already super clear on it, and that's amazing. So let's stick with that. So now the second part to why you potentially couldn't be taking action is because you're letting your fears get in the way. You're remaining in your comfort zone. And we do this because we actually believe that we're protecting ourselves. Because if we stay over there and we stay in our comfort zone, then we get to avoid fear, shame, being seen by other people, feeling judged by other people, showing up online, which can be a tricky one. So I want to give you an example because I think I've talked about this. I don't know if you would have heard it, but I'll go over it again. Something that I struggled with so much in the starting phase of my business, of the coaching business, was actually showing up online. The fear of being seen, the fear of judgment, I guess. So this was something I had another business before, making raw slices, and I used to post all the time, but it was all photos of slices and cakes, which was easy for me to do, right? And then as soon as it switched into the coaching, I knew I had this passion. I knew I was really good at it. And I knew I was eager to go. But why was I struggling to take action? Because I was letting the simplest things get in the way. I was making excuse after excuse as to why I wouldn't post content online, why I couldn't post photos, why I couldn't do that. But really, it's because I just felt safe. I felt so outside of my comfort zone when I was doing that. And it honestly feels like you're going to die. When you leave your comfort zone, it actually feels like your body goes into the same response as if you're being threatened. I don't know if you've experienced this before, but if you haven't, you need to, because every time you step outside of your comfort zone, you're proving to yourself that you can do it. You're strengthening that. So what I want you to do is write down what you wanted, what the steps are that you need to take to get to where you want to be. I want you to write 3 steps. After you've got your 3 steps, I want you to sit down and actually think, what do I get to avoid by not taking action? So I want you to come up with what you're avoiding. It could be, like I said, the shame. It could be the judgment. It could be the fear of being seen. It could be you're scared of people seeing you potentially fail. Think about that. So what I would do is I'd make my list of the 3 things that I need to do. So let's go back to my fear of showing up online, my fear of being seen, my fear of judgment, all that kind of stuff. So in order for me to do that, I had to write a little list. So first step would be post a selfie online. Announce that I'm actually doing coaching. Announce what I'm doing. And then the second step would be maybe hop on my stories, maybe go live, release my first masterclass, whatever it is. So the difference between sitting here and planning was I actually took action. I didn't just sit in the planning phase for ages. I didn't wait for everything to be perfect. I didn't wait for the approval of everyone else. I knew what I needed to do and I actually did it. Does that mean I didn't experience all the fears? Does that mean I didn't experience all the voices in my head telling me all the reasons of why I shouldn't do that? No. I experienced it, but I moved past it and I proved to myself that you actually don't die. It's actually okay. You're going to survive. And the more you do it, the more you're just building trust with yourself and you know that you're more than capable of doing it. So come up with the 3 steps that you need to take to actually start taking action into wherever it is that you want to go. To build a business, maybe get your name. How many days a week are you going to work on it? Do the planning, but while you're planning, take action every step of the way. Don't wait till you've got the perfect business plan to start, because you probably won't start. And then that comes to the next thing, that every single time that you write a list, every time that you tell your friends about it, every time that you add onto your vision board, every time you do something, you get this little dopamine hit, right? So you're like writing your list and you're like, I can't wait to do this. This is going to be amazing. This is incredible. I'm doing it. And you actually feel really good because you're getting that dopamine hit. And you're like, fuck yeah, this is good. But then you've already had the excitement. You've already had the dopamine hit that you actually don't take action. So you have to catch yourself out when you're doing this. This is the most important part of this. Pause the video, sit down and think about what you were wanting to take action on. How many times have you talked about it to someone else? How many times have you wrote the list in private? How many times have you re-put it on your vision board? How many times have you sat in your room thinking about this thing, but you never seem to take the steps required? Sit down, pause, make a list, just so you can be super clear on this. Because if it's something you're repeatedly going over and over and over in your head, you want it. That desire was put on your heart for a reason, and I believe that to my core. So think about all the planning that you've done. If you've done none, cool, start planning, but start actually taking action from today. And if you've done lots of planning, cool, look at it all. This is exactly where you start. You're miles ahead. So I challenge you today to take the first step, whether that be to go in and sign up to the gym, whether that be to post your first selfie on Instagram, whether that be to announce that you're starting a business, whether that be whatever you have in mind that you're failing to take action on, and signing up to new classes, anything. You've been telling your best friend you're going to go to pottery for 12 months now, but you still haven't done it. Whatever it is, take the first step today. Because we need to get so comfortable in being uncomfortable, because this is how we grow. This is how we actually get what we want. Do you think that I had an easy journey? Absolutely not. It has not been easy, but it has been a roller coaster. I've learned so much from it. I've learned what I want, what I don't want. I've learned what I thought I wanted versus what I want. Because for years, I believed that I wanted so many different things than what I want now. Because I felt the pressure of it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to grow up and you're supposed to get a good job and you're supposed to, you know, buy a house and get engaged and have a kid and do all the things. And when I sat down and figured it out, what I actually wanted, my whole life changed. I started investing in different kinds of things. I started doing what I actually wanted in life. I started, you know, investing in this kind of business instead of my other business where I was about to open a cafe. When I figured I don't actually want this, I'm doing this because I feel like I should do it, because I felt like it was the only thing I could do. So then I opened my world up to a whole nother possibility, and it was the best thing that's ever happened to me, honestly. So this is why I'm here. This is why I want to work with people. This is why I want to show people, because there's so much out there waiting for you, but we let our fear of self-doubt, our fear of judgment, our fear of failure, fear of whatever it is that you're dealing with get in the way, and we fail to actually take action on what we want. You could be the best person at what you want to do, but you'll never figure it out if you don't actually start doing it. And what I want you to understand is so much of this actually comes from you not having trust, not having self-trust. Because if you don't trust yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in, you know, showing up in a certain way, then this is why you could potentially be failing to take action. It starts with getting to know yourself. It starts with understanding yourself. It starts with actually unpacking all the limiting beliefs that you hold about yourself. Half of the time, we don't even know they're there. We have to get curious. The one thing I say to every single person that I work with is always remain curious. No matter at what level you're at in personal development or whatever, wherever you are, you always have to remain curious. Remain willing to learn, because this way you'll learn so much about yourself. If you think that you know everything about you, that's just boring. There's always more. Always, always, always remain curious. And I think this is so cool, because the more that you learn about yourself, the more that you grow, the more risks that you're willing to take, the more that you're actually willing to put yourself out there, the more that you stop letting excuses get in the way, and you can actually create the life of your dreams. Like, you can go after what you actually want. So sit down today, figure out, why am I not taking action? Where am I actually at? What do I actually want? What do I want to go after? What's next for me? I promise you, there's so many possibilities waiting for you out there. Limitless. And this starts with you getting to know yourself better. Like I said, it starts with you developing high levels of self-trust. It starts with you understanding yourself. It starts with you proving to yourself that you can do hard things. And remember, what you find hard is going to feel different to what someone else finds hard. So don't compare yourself to your best friends, your moms, your sisters, your brothers, whoever it is. Whatever you're finding hard in this moment, it's going to be so different from what other people are finding hard. So it may be hard for you to show up online, whereas your best friend finds it super easy. But then your best friend might find it super hard to write an email, and you might find it easy. So just understand that everyone's heart is different. So figure out what feels hard to you right now and start doing that, because then you're creating evidence that you actually can do it. And it's easy. It gets to be easy. Remind yourself this is a big mindset thing too. Well, we choose our problems. If you choose to keep believing that it's so hard for you to post a photo on Instagram, and it's so hard for you to show up, and it's hard for you to announce to your family that you actually want to leave your job to start your own business, whatever it is, you'll make that feel so much harder than it is. If you decide right now that this gets to be easy, I choose easy, I choose bigger problems, talk yourself through that. You will see such a shift in the way that you do things if you remind yourself that. When you think about the world and everything that's going on, is it really that hard to show up online? Is it really that hard to do all the little tasks that you've been putting off forever? So for you to start taking action on the big things that you actually want, you actually have to start showing up for all the things that you say you're going to do and then you don't do. If you keep saying that you're going to do the dishes at the end of the night and then you keep not doing it, and you wake up to a messy kitchen, and I wish I did that last night. I said I was going to do that last night. If you keep saying you're going to go for a walk and then you don't go for a walk. If you keep saying you're going to catch up with your best friend and then you don't catch up with your best friend. All these little things that you're thinking nothing of are actually building evidence that you don't follow through with your word. Stop saying you're going to do something and then not following through with it. Everything you say you're gonna do, you have to follow through. If you're gonna wake up on Sunday and do a house reset, but then it comes to Sunday morning and you're tired, so you decide you don't want to anymore, what's that proving? But if you wake up and you're tired and you said you were going to do a house reset and you're going to spring clean the house so that you felt amazing, you didn't feel like it, but you pushed through and you actually did it, how good are you going to feel? Start thinking about all these little micro moments throughout your day that are adding on to your self-belief, your self-trust, all the little things. Start taking action on what you actually want and start thinking about where you want to be in life. Is what you are currently doing actually fulfilling you? And I'm not saying that everyone has to go to a job that they're super in love with every day, but when you're going to that job, remind yourself that this is what's getting you to where you want to be. This is helping you. This is helping you pay your bills right now to get to where you want to be. Just a little reminder. So my biggest piece of advice to you to start taking action on what you actually want, to start going after what you actually want, to start showing up in a way of, you're here to fucking start achieving your goals, your desires, your dreams, is to understand who you are. Start with the basics. Start with self-trust. Start with who the fuck you actually are. What am I holding back? What am I suppressing? What parts of me do I not understand? Where do I believe I can't show up as a confident person? Where do I believe that I'm not allowed to be overly confident in the room? I'm not allowed to take up space in the meetings. I'm not allowed to voice my opinion. Where have you got the good girl conditioning? Which leads me on to my 3-week mindset program. So basically, for you to start taking more action is, like I said, make the list, figure out, is it what I actually want? Why am I stopping? Figure out the fears that you have behind that and start unpacking them, start working through them, start doing them to prove to yourself that you're actually more than capable, and watch yourself show up in a more confident manner every single time. But if you want to get really into it, if you want to understand the conditioning that you hold about your, the good girl conditioning, if you have that, if you believe you can't show up as the loud, confident one, you believe that you'd be obnoxious, you'd be cocky, you'd be all the little things that we have, honestly, trust me, we're just getting started. This course is a 3-week mindset program. It's absolutely going to be life-changing if you show up and you want to be a part of it and you want to do the workbooks and you want to get the coaching from me and you want to be in the live calls. It actually starts on the 9th of October. And for you joining the masterclass, I'm going to give you a special price of $88. So if you want, there's going to be a link in the down bar. Otherwise, honestly, start working on what you want, start figuring out what you truly want, write down the list, go listen to my podcast episodes, do whatever you've got to do. But today, figure out the first step that you're going to do to take action on the thing that you want. Like I said, it could be a big one or it could be a small one. It could be that you actually just go out for a walk today instead of making an excuse. Could be that you post about your new business. Whatever it is, start doing it today, honestly, because today is just a compound effect of where you'll be in a year. You have to let every little moment that you do compound to get to where you want to be. Don't do it for 2 weeks and expect massive changes. Know that you're in it for the long run. It's so exciting. I honestly love having these kinds of conversations. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I will talk to you soon. If you have anything that you want to share with me, please message me on Instagram. If you would like, if I'm going to be the first person that you tell about something that you've been working on, that you've been wanting to do, that you're failing to take action on, let me be the first person. I'll be your hype girl to get you started. Message me on Instagram. Let me know what it is. And I will talk to you then. Bye.